It's finished 1-1 between Luton Town and Liverpool, and what a moment for Luis Diaz right at the end of the game to get the equalising goal. It must have felt for Liverpool fans like the winning goal, like a 3-point goal, like a Champions League final goal based on obviously the issues surrounding his personal life, the very unfortunate story about his dad being missing at the moment. To see him kind of come on off the bench, clearly Jurgen Klopp was trying to protect Luis Diaz in that regard, and he comes off the bench and impacts the game like he has done all season. He's been absolutely exemplary all season, Diaz, and it's a massive, massive point for Liverpool. They needed that. I don't think we can lose this game. A point away from home against some of the promoted sides aren't the worst results in the world. You have to keep breathing in a title race. You have to keep going. Getting 0 points is a real bad one for Liverpool. So the fact that they actually get 1 point, it's more than just a consolation. It's a real saving grace moment for Liverpool, for Luis Diaz. It's a big goal in the Premier League title race. And Luton Town, they'll be absolutely gutted. Rob Edwards, you could see him on the touchline looking almost emotional, distraught that he hasn't kind of got the scalp as big as Liverpool Football Club at Kenilworth Road. It would have been surely one of the best moments in the history of Luton Town Football Club, and that's not an exaggeration. That's not a slight on Luton Town. They've done incredibly well. 10 years ago, they were in the conference. So to get them to be in that position where they were winning the game with 5 minutes to go against Liverpool Football Club, against Jurgen Klopp, against Salah, and you know, all these players, is absolutely incredible from Luton Town. Let's just talk about what Liverpool struggled with today, why they were in such a weak position where a lot of people, myself included, thought they were going to beat Luton 3-4-0. You know, obviously Luton in the last couple, even the start of the season, lost to Chelsea. Was it Brighton? I think it was Brighton. They got absolutely handed in big games. And Aston Villa recently as well did something very similar. But Liverpool could never get their foot on the ball against Luton. It was a bit too end-to-end. Luton Town, whether you like it or not, want to be end-to-end. There are some sides that get promoted, they don't have the quality. I'm thinking, you know, maybe Stoke City with Tony Pulis when they got promoted. They didn't want it to be end-to-end. They wanted it to be slow, really aggressive. That long kind of Delap throw comes in, the corner comes in. And Luton Town are literally the exact opposite. They haven't got the quality to play Swansea-like football when Swansea got promoted, but they got the quality to be athletic. They're a very athletic side. And the way they were bombing on today, they made it end-to-end. And that's why Liverpool struggled. And actually, Liverpool got a really bad record against promoted sides. Last season, I think it's 1 win away against the promoted sides. It's something like one in a few games against the promoted sides. A really poor win record last season. And that's what cost them the points to get into the top 4, let alone mount a title charge. And what does that come down to? Because obviously Liverpool got far more quality than any of the sides that are getting promoted out of the Championship. I think it's an aspect of adaptability on the pitch. I think Liverpool still struggle a little bit. When Liverpool know exactly what they're facing and they can put their minds around it, they can kind of work harder than the opposition. They know exactly how to beat City. City kind of roughly the same side. Arsenal, Newcastle, Spurs. They kind of know the settings. But with these promoted sides, the variance is massive. Luton Town, Liverpool have never played a side like Luton Town. Now, they've played sides that have got more quality than Luton Town, of course. But the size of the pitch, the atmosphere, the clunky kind of players, the kind of Clinton Morrises of the world that they never would have played, who looks like a slight striker, but he's got a lot of power, a lot of pace. Someone like Adebayo as well, who's winning flick-ons in the final 10 minutes. Someone like Chong, who I thought was absolutely fantastic for Luton Town. He's everywhere. He's an energetic midfielder. He's kind of popping up left midfield, right midfield, dropping deep to pick up the ball, bombing on. So Liverpool struggle against sides where they have literally no kind of reference point for how to play against them, and that is a massive issue. I thought Doherty on the right, on the left hand side for Luton Town, Kabore, even Andros Townsend had a good game, and of course Ross Barkley. You have to shout out Ross Barkley, former Blue. And obviously a massive rival to Liverpool in that regard. He had a very good game today. I thought it surely is one of the best games he's had for years, literally years. So fair play, because that transfer, if it keeps them up, and it's a good transfer, simple as that. It felt like Luton could have been 1-0 up in the early parts of the second half. Ogbene had a big chance where he was about 20 yards out, just outside the box, and he had so much room. He could have played it into Chong, could have played it into Doherty, and he decides to scuff one from 20 yards out. And you look at his I had to look at where they signed him from. You think Rotherham, 120 appearances for Rotherham, with all due respect, and that is just the factor of it, that Rob Edwards is coaching these players that are largely Championship to performing. They're getting into great positions against Liverpool. That's down to great coaching from Rob Edwards. And there's nothing that Ogbene could do of quality, and Alisson saves it. And up the other end, Salah is incorrectly ruled offside for a ball over the top. He lays it across the face of the goal. And Darwin Núñez, it's one of the worst misses of the season, and it wouldn't have been offside. It's another incorrect call from referees in this country. Can you make it up anymore? But he missed it nonetheless. Salah played in Núñez as well very briefly after that. Smashes it top corner. Near post, and it's Kaminsky has a great save to make for him. So there's a lot of quality from Liverpool in terms of little individual attacking moments. Not enough quality from McAllister, so Bosley today. Gravenberch got taken off. He looked a little bit frustrated with that. And then comes the Luton goal. Absolutely superb from Luton. I think it's Kabore that sprints off with the ball. From a Liverpool corner. Liverpool looks so defensively frail in the final 10 minutes. Maybe I'm overplaying this Tartar race stuff. I get slagged off in my videos a lot for saying it. But I do think Liverpool think they can win the league this season. And certainly get closer than they did last season. And I think they were bombing on in the final 10 minutes trying to win the game and not draw it 0-0. And they were so defensively frail. I don't know where Van Dijk and Konate were. You got to leave one or two. It felt way too many were left. Trent was sprinting back. It just felt a little bit too off the pace. And Konate was miles away from that ball being fired across. And he was in that kind of position to clear it. And he usually all game, and he wasn't able to. Beautiful finish from Chong, who had a great game as well coming on. And then you've got to say that Liverpool just showed that kind of fight where maybe if they hadn't have, maybe it would have stayed 0-0 if it hadn't have gone 1-0 to Luton. But as soon as it goes 1-0 Luton, you could see the speed of play for Liverpool increase. Harvey Elliott, I thought, had a good game today. He moves the ball quick. I really like his quality. His end products is fantastic. And the ball comes in from Harvey Elliott onto Diaz's head. It's a great little header, soft, a little bit of a deflection on it. But you've got to be in those right positions as a left winger for Liverpool, arriving in the box. That's why Mane and Salah used to score all those goals. And Diaz will score so many goals, trust me. I'm such a massive fan of Luis Diaz. It's unbelievable. So, yeah, the reality of the situation is it's a really poor result for Liverpool. I think they've been superb this season. I've enjoyed watching all of their games. Obviously, dropped points against Spurs, which wasn't really their fault. But then Brighton as well. And then they got back to like a mini winning streak, and I thought it was going to continue at least to Man City. I actually did kind of a preview for the run for Liverpool, and I thought they'd get far more points already than they have just because of dropping 2 to Luton Town. Is the Tartar race on the line? It's still a little bit too early. They could go to City and beat City, and suddenly everyone's beating everyone, and it becomes a little bit more flat at the top of the table. But we have to just credit Luton very quickly at the end. It is still one of the best results they've had in a long time in their history. They'll look at FA Cup results. They'll look at certain results to get promoted out of the Championship and League One in the last 10 years. But to have Liverpool in their backyard and at points match them physically, match them for energy, match them at points for quality in midfield, no question about it. I thought McAllister got a little bit overrun today. Gravenberch as well. They should hold their heads up high. It's a massive result for Luton Town. Fair play to them. And I think when push comes to shove, unless Bournemouth can do something special with money and they've got a bit more financial resources, I back Luton. I put my mortgage on Luton having more spirit, more fight, and being more deserving of staying in the league than Bournemouth. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But Liverpool dropped 2 points to Luton Town.